This video is rated T or Tickle Me Pink. Alright, what's going on YouTube? Tarkov decided to wipe all of your guys' controls. I have spent so many hours on controls. I come from playing a lot of MMOs, World of Warcraft, if you're familiar with it. I love grinding for rank 1 PvP titles. I am just a turbo nerd, and I have utilized a lot of the same methodologies we utilize in games like MMO, where you need to press 500 different fucking buttons all in the next minute to give you guys optimized controls to play a shooter without going overboard. You're not going to need a Razer Naga with 12 buttons on the side. So we're going to use a lot of modifier macros. And at the end of the day, these work for me personally. If you see something that's just like doesn't make sense to you, then go ahead and change them. But let's hop into these controls, guys. So on your standard movement, we're just going to use WAS, and here are the first changes here. So smooth lean right, smooth lean left. I've swapped that to E and Q. So standardly, they're on a modifier macro. Smooth lean right is allowing you to like slowly lean out and get the exact amount of anglage you need to just barely peek. And I want this on E and Q because I'm never going to be using these while moving. So on the same token, we're going to use lean right and lean left on mouse 3 and mouse 4. Now these buttons are the two buttons you're going to find on most FPS mice right on the left hand side. So my lean right is my back button because it's most comfortable to use, and you can still get right hand advantages while using it right. So you want to feel very comfortable while you're swinging those rights. And my left is actually my forward button on that left hand side. Make sure you have this set to continuous. Now, why do I have these inverted, right? Well, because when I'm needing to lean quickly and peek someone at the same time, my movement is extremely important, right? So when I'm pressing WAS and D, I don't want to be like letting go and then having to like incorporate a different finger to press that button and being sloppy with my movement to hit the E and Q and get those leans in. So that is why we've gone ahead and moved our leans to our mouse. Fire, obviously on left mouse button. Aim on right mouse button. I would suggest continuous. A lot of it comes on press by default, but I would go ahead and remove that. So switch between sights. I use scroll mouse wheel up. It's going to swap between, like, let's say you have a holographic sight, or you have like a Bravo optic and you have an optic on top of that. Mouse wheel up, mouse wheel down for scope magnifications. You want to easily be able to swap between this and make it a very comfortable keybind. That is why I have it on scroll wheel. This way, if you're using an optic, it's like a 1x6. You know, you can be using a 1x optic. You know, scoping through a field, you see someone snap it on 6, you're already aimed on him, bam, you shoot him and he's dead. You don't want it on any other keybind. It's just, you want it very, very fluent. You want to get that kill as fast as possible. Free look, left alt. Now, this might be a bad keybind for you guys, but for me, I played 10,000 hours of Arma 2 DayZ, and left alt, I just got very comfortable using it for my alt look, and that was a natural when coming to Escape from Tarkov. You guys might hate that one though, so you might want to utilize this separately and utilize left alt as a modifier macro. And we'll talk about more about modifier macros and what does that mean later. So toggle head equipment and default, toggle helmet device H. You could unbind this. I don't think this is very helpful at all. Enable disable VoIP. I don't have this. When people are being racist in my chat, I just laugh. Push talk, I have mine set on V. If you want a little bit of a bonus round, you can go ahead and set Discord to push to mute every time you hold V, so that way you can say funny things in game, make your friends laugh, and it won't be in Discord. It'll only be in game, like Lethal Company style. It's just a small keybind, but if it makes your friends laugh, you know, go for it. I have my phrase menu on Y. This isn't very important at all. Check time, just unbind this and set check time and exits to press instead of double press. Now every time you press O, it'll show you your exits as well as the time. You don't need to double tap it here. Toggle tactical devices on T. Now, why is this important? Well, I'll talk about some other keybinds later, but this way we can actually utilize this while sprinting now, because we went ahead and unbound Shift T, and we're gonna be able to turn on our tactical device while we're sprinting. So let's say you're sprinting up to a door, you know there's a guy in it, you have a flashlight on your weapon, you're sprinting to it, you tap T while sprinting, then bam, you swing around that corner, flashlight in hand, he's blind, he's dead. These are big important keybinds right here, where you don't want to mess around, right? You don't want this influencing your movement. It's same thing with like the optic, swapping in and out. Switch tactile device, I use left control and I bump down the palm of my hand, and then mouse scroll wheel down. So we're going to be using a lot of modifiers here. So left control in this example is a modifier macro, and we're going to use a lot of different buttons, like how we had mouse scroll wheel down, but left control is a prefix. I don't know why it always puts it at the end in Tarkov. And this way we can do a lot of important things relatively easily without having to go ahead and hit weird keybinds on our keyboard. So this one's important, and that's next and previous. It's going to be like, for example, if your friend drops you a rig on the ground, you have the option between like examine and pick up, right? You're going to need to hold down shift and then mouse wheel up or mouse wheel down. Now, this seems kind of weird, and you think, why do we unbind it over here? I'll explain later. The main thing is this is actually going to allow you now to sprint and target heal with like saluas and stuff like that. So you know, like the target heal menu or like the reload target menu where you hold down R and you scroll wheel around, you can choose exactly what magazine you want to load in next. You can do the same thing with meds. Say your salu is on 4, you hold down 4 and then you scroll wheel. But what you're going to need to do is combine that with left shift. And now we're going to be able to sprint and target heal our body. That's going to get you out of the line of fire and back into combat as fast as possible. If you just get used to this keybind, it makes a massive world difference. It's the reason I have it set up like this, although it does seem a little weird at first. Interact, naturally, it's at F. Prepare grenade, naturally, it's a G. Reload weapon, it's at R. You're going to want reload weapon to be set on release, and I'll talk about that more later. Emergency weapon reload is double click. If you set this on press, then, and I'll just quickly explain if you don't know, like press, as soon as you tap R, it reloads. Release, as soon as you let go of R, it reloads, right? But if you have it on press, then double click won't really effectively work. If you don't find yourself emergency weapon reloading ever, then you can swap this to press and just get slightly faster reloads over the course of your raids. So it probably won't make much of a difference. This is how I personally run it. People swear by a few other reload keybinds, but this has worked really well for me. Drop backpack, we just don't want this on double press. We want it on single press. We want to be able to drop our backpack before getting engaged, and try and like make a little mental note to yourself whenever you drop your backpack, like drop backpack drop. Say it out loud. Maybe it's just me, but I lose my backpack all the time in engagements. You'll see on my live stream, my chat makes fun of me, like warmer, colder, warmer. I lose it all the fucking time. It is so painful, guys. Next magazine, it's just R and then mouse wheel up, mouse wheel down, and R for previous magazines. And this is how you do the target magazines as well. I don't use this as much, but it can be really nice if you're running different magazines with different ammunitions. Check ammo, I like to use left control and M. That works really well for my brain. It does seem a little weird at first, but trust me, we just want to free up as many keybinds as possible, and that works really well. You're not going to be using this too much anyways. You're mostly going to be middle mouse wheeling down in the inventory and checking those magazines. Now, one thing that I do that's a little bit weird is I just keep my fire mode on B. You can double click B to go full auto. A lot of people have check fire mode selected. I mean, I just keep my gun in full auto most of the time. I don't ever get that itch. I see other people get that itch, like, oh, you know, they're hiding in a building and they see someone coming, like, is my gun in full auto? And they flick it. Like, just don't do that. You know, swap your gun in full auto as soon as you get it, and then run your raid. You're good. Check chamber, fix malfunction. You want this on L and you want this on release. So the reason for this is we don't have inspect here, but here's the inspect current weapon further down here. We want this L and press. So if you get a weapon jam, that way effectively you're just going to tap L and you're going to hold L down, and then you'll get the weapon jam clearing like notification. You're good to clear it, and you let go of L at the end of the animation, and you're going to go ahead and check your chamber and fix malfunction. But yeah, it seems a little weird at first. If you let go of L early and it doesn't count, just tap it down really quickly and let go of it again, and you'll be good as soon as that animation ends. Unload chamber, it just isn't really important at all, so don't worry about it. Same with detach magazine. I use prone on X, you want this on press. Sprint on left shift, you want this on continuous, not on press. Crouch on C. If you have sprint on left shift, you're going to run into a ton of issues where like your character slides in place, and also you're not going to be able to use cool keybinds to get it. So just get used to holding it down, alright guys? Next walk pose, that's going to be C and mouse scroll. This actually doesn't look correct. What the hell? That seems so weird. Maybe my keybinds got set up incorrectly, but I haven't had any issues in game. But I believe this is actually, I use caps lock and mouse wheel up and caps lock and mouse wheel down. Same for auto walking. I have it on caps. You just want this on press. I'm not sure why that says C. That's not the case. Unless the next walk pose and previous walk pose is talking about like how tall and high you are, you can individually adjust your verticality right there. So if that's the case, then that is correct. I do have that bound to C and mouse wheel up and C and mouse wheel down, but the way it says walk pose, that doesn't seem correct there. I unbound all of the blind fires. They used to be really good when you can use them while you were moving to go ahead and bait shots out. You could go ahead and bind right side blind fire if you want to, if you have an extra keybind just sitting around, and particularly use a flashlight and bump your right hand blind fire around a corner, and you'll bait out a lot of shots, and then you can push off them reloading or whatever. They're going to be caught off guard by it, and yeah, you can utilize that. I quit utilizing that a while ago, but that is just me. So toggle inventory, I have mine set to tab. Jump, you're going to want this on space in my opinion, and set to release. Now that's because the new vault keybind, naturally I would want press, but it won't work with the vault keybind with release, and I've tried using some different vault keybinds. I haven't found one that feels really fluid yet, so for the time being we're just going to keep vault on space. Melee weapon is on backspace. You know, I never use my melee weapon, but if I need to grab it in a hurry and then like speed reload magazines because it's going to be faster, then I have it on backspace. I don't have quick melee attack set at all. My first rifle is 2, my second rifle is 3. Unbind sidearm and make sidearm quick swap just 1 and put it on press. That way you're not fumbling around trying to double tap it. Bringing a sidearm to raids is now very effective in my opinion. With the recent changes to pistols as well as recoil, they feel much better. Scope elevation up, I don't really zero at all, but you have page up, page down. Screenshot is obviously print screen, it's not that important. Discard, now I use a left shift and a left mouse button. And why would I do that? Well, you know, alt click plus left click equals you wear someone's equipment, right? Control click and left click means you're going to grab something into your inventory very fastly. Instead of pressing like delete or all these weird keybinds to just throw something out quickly, I just started utilizing left shift and left mouse button. This upped my looting quite substantially. Same token, I like to use hold breath on left control. I can just easily tap it with the butt of my hand when I'm ADSing and holding a corner and whatnot. Feels very, very fluid. Icon toggles, it's not important. Consoles on the little squiggly, not important. Shoulder transition, I have this on like my mouse wheel press in. It's not like scroll down, it's press in. And then vault, we're going to want to actually go ahead and have on continuous. So that way if you're holding down spacebar, he's going to try and vault whatever you run up to. So anyways, mouse wheel down, this is important. You want it somewhere easily to get it. So if you're in a tough spot where you have to swing left on someone, you want to be able to swap shoulders quickly and then swing that left. All right, so just have it somewhere very easy for you guys. But these are optimized keybinds for playing Escape from Tarkov. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. Make sure to smash that dislike button. Tell me to kill myself in the comments down below. I'll have a full screenshot of all my settings on my Twitch, or all my keybind settings rather, on my Twitch. If you do !keybinds, you can just slowly copy them over from there. Other than that, guys, I'm going to be releasing an optimized settings guide. I'll literally talk about how the human eye perceives other humans, how you see movement, how you distinguish humans when they're not moving, etc., etc. in the optimized settings for Escape from Tarkov for both Arena as a standard game as well. So stay on the lookout for that. That should come out later today, I believe. And I'll see you guys all on Discord and on the live stream. Love you all. Peace out.